What should we commemorate about the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence during 2026? The year 1776 was notable for being the beginning of the end of the British Empire, the beginning for the American Imperium, and the year that democracy and capitalism staked out battle lines for the greatest culture war since humans began to live in villages. 250 years ago, two historic publishing phenomena sent shockwaves into the future, where we live today. The first one to see print lambasted Britain's system of hidebound minority governance by a wealthy hereditary ruling class. It was easy to read, and it made the songs of war irresistible to colonial commoners who found it rock-solid justification to overthrow an impersonal, tyrannical, and violent empire. The other publication, a thick book, as unread by its devotees as the Bible is, extolled the rational superiority of materialistic self-interest as a driver of progress and national success. And it sang a siren song that inspired speculators in land and war bonds to focus on commerce and property when the Federalists drafted the U.S. Constitution that rejected the revolutionary changes demanded by radical Democrats when it was ratified 13 years later in 1789. Thomas Paine's phenomenal best-selling booklet, Common Sense, was published on January 1st, 1776. It went viral throughout the American colonies and forced colonial land speculators, who later became known as Federalists, to reluctantly embrace Paine's radical vision for a classless society because of its outlandish popularity. At George Washington's insistence, Common Sense got distributed as propaganda wherever potential military recruits could be found. It inspired day workers and farmers to wage war against Earth's first corporate state, the British Empire. Then, 2 months later, on March 9th, 1776, Adam Smith's The Wealth of Nations went to print. According to Samuel Fleischaker, quote, "Indeed, the American founders were among the earliest readers of Smith's Wealth of Nations, and their readings constitute a significant episode in the history of the book's reception," end quote. Proto-Federalists, like George Washington, intended to protect their ownership of stolen native land and stolen and enslaved Africans, while colonial commoners championed full suffrage and an end to slavery. The two camps were diametrically opposed on ideological and moral grounds about what the eventual national project would be once independence was attained. But they shared a common enemy. The British Empire stood in the way of both visions for the future of colonial settlements in North America. In 1776, the breakaway North American colonies of the British Empire had come to a fork in the road. One future was revolutionary. It called for democracy and equality among people. The other aspired for greatness through power and wealth for a new nation with global designs. We know that only one path would be taken, and we know which one that was. But is that the choice most Americans want to celebrate this year? Where do you stand? This is the second video short in CELDF's America 250, a Revolutionary Perspective series. You can catch up at our Truth and Reckoning Substack and stay current by following us at CELDF.org. If you'd like to support our work, consider donating. Again, that's at CELDF.org.